as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
13. Here we go. 180.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
180.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Markevius Mingo in that time on the tackle.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
White. 180. Black 80. 13. 6.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. Throw left side complete. It's Hale. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. His first catch good for 8 and a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
White. Hey, 4 down. 180.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack.
Penny, a first down carry. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
On third down, Wilson going up top for Kupp. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man. Not a guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
11.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And it's 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal.
12.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
95.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
By 20. Here we go. Hurry up. 11.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
By 20. Go ahead. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
The give is to Bell. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he gets this away. Look at this. This is a good one. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Akello Witherspoon. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
65. 21.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Garoppolo now. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Open man right side is cut, complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Wilson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Throwing is Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10.
21. Like 80! With 80!
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we reach half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
4 down, check, 4 down. Go ahead. Switch.
Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. Bell a first down and then some. Bell's Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Le'Veon Bell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They go play action here on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
We got 4.
Here's a give to Penny. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside. and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it again with Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch 80! 180! Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10, watch 10. Black! Go ahead. Get wide. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's complete. Henry. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
21. Here we go.
On the counter, here's Bell. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
21. Here we go.
A give to Bell. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Now a first carry for their fullback. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to look deep, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. After the interception, here's Wilson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. If he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Here's Wilson. Room to run past midfield. Wide open receiver complete. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Go ahead.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now it's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And right now, it's all about probably just working some clock and enjoying this victory because they're up big here late in the 4th.
13.
And somewhere on their sideline, probably the head coach allowing a little bit of a grin to hit his face because most coaches love to run other teams into submission, and that's what they've done in this game.
We'll see if they can continue and get this one into the locker room with more smiles.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. Boy, people are really happy about those picks. Any fantasy team that has this defense.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be 49er football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
Here we go. Hey, alert! 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 2.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Watch 80. Watch 80. Check three. Check three.
Again, it's Bell. And some room to maneuver. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. Here we go. 180. 21.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Dodges him at the 50. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Hurry up. 21. Wait.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. Breaks the tackle, now Allen. The 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle defense getting set to go. And not a good performance by them or by their offense, for that matter. Just hasn't been a good game.
And it's real easy at this point to point fingers. Hey, you guys didn't get a whole lot done today. Didn't give us much of a cushion. But the truth of the matter is, having played defense, your pride says whatever your offense gives you, you're supposed to allow 1 point less. So they're going to feel like they let them down as well.
Yeah, I guess fingers could be pointed on both sides.
Wait. 4 down. Check.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Garoppolo looking to throw. Rolling to his right. And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One last shot for Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for San Francisco, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-2.